Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Mind Over Matter with Sankit. In this episode, we'll be talking about our chattering monkey mind. So this term is really interesting because it really picturizes what our brain looks like. Our brain is like a chattering monkey. It's continuously chattering. At many times our brain doesn't even know what it is thinking about. We're just thinking and thinking and thinking. This is a continuous infinite loop, if that is how you want to put it. So many times we find that our smallest of emotions, they collect to become a bigger emotion. For example, if you are generally sad about things, if you generally complain about things, you might notice that your chattering monkey continues and continues, and it goes from one trouble to another. It jumps from one trouble to another, even if they are not related. For instance, if you start thinking about something bad that is happening today, you'll start ruminating on the same thought, and you'll remember bad things that happened in the past, and you'll also think of possible bad things that may happen in the future. So as spiritual practitioners, unless we get out of this loop, unless we are observant of what our brain does, unless we observe our brain by maintaining a distance with it, we'll be just like everyone else who's full of misery. We're stuck in a loop that is created by themselves. So when it comes to dealing with the chattering monkey mind, there are two approaches that you can take, one of which is beneficial while the other is not. So the first one is trying to resist that monkey mind, trying to fight that monkey mind, trying to complain about the way that your mind is. And when you do this, you add more conditioning to your brain. You add more perspectives to your brain, which makes you even sadder and sadder. For instance, if you have a chattering mind, if you find that you're constantly thinking about unnecessary things, and if you start getting worried that you're thinking about unnecessary things, you're not doing any better. You're making it even worse by worrying about something that is already happening. So the other approach you can take is to observe the mind as if you're a pedestrian that is walking on the street, and as if you're observing all the vehicles that are moving on the road. So whenever you sit to watch vehicles moving, you do not really have attachments towards these vehicles. So you just watch them. You know that each of them will come and will pass. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to thoughts, we are not able to do the same. It is because we are attached to our thoughts. We are attached to our positive thoughts. We want more positive thoughts to, dwell in our brain, and we do not want negative thoughts. But not wanting the negative thoughts or craving for the positive thoughts is in itself another negative thought. So this is a very mysterious and difficult to understand phenomenon, but with practice you'll notice that when you maintain equanimity, as we have talked in the previous videos, when you start maintaining equanimity and when you look at everything objectively, when you stop giving labels to thoughts and emotions as good and bad, you'll notice that all forms of stimulus become somewhat the same to you. After that, you will not really be affected by what people say about you. Even if someone praises you too much, you will not get elated, and you will not get overwhelmed and excited and become very thankful to that person, because whatever the other person is saying does not necessarily relate to you. That person does not know what's going on in your life. So whatever the person says is a manifestation of his or her own life. This is to say that, for instance, if your close friend is praising you a lot lately, it means that he's happy with his life, and it is just a way that he shares his joy with you. On the other hand, if someone speaks very ill about you, if someone demotivates you, that does not mean that you have a problem in yourself. It means that the other person is facing his own insecurity and is trying to manifest it by throwing comments on you. So it is totally up to you whether or not you want to be attached to other people's perspectives, or whether you want to take it in and ruminate on it and become sad about what other people think about you. When you do this, you also become much more self-sufficient, meaning that you do not really need validation from other people, and you start believing in yourself. This develops your self-confidence. And on the other hand, just like how in the external world you need to be wary about what information you let into your brain, in a similar manner you shouldn't take your thoughts too seriously either. Like, your thoughts are just like other people speaking. In this book that I recently read, which is called The Four Agreements, there is this term called mitote, which means a place where thousands of people are talking at the same time and no one happens to understand what any other person is saying. And the book has beautifully linked our mind with a state of mitote. That is, there are so many voices that are continuously speaking in our mind, but then one voice is not willing to listen to the others. So it is very much on our favor if we become aware of it, and if we do not take these voices seriously. We just need to observe them objectively. We do not really need to give labels to any thoughts. So on that note, throughout this video, we've understood that any emotion is not necessarily good or bad, and any thought is not necessarily good or bad. Any comments or praise that we hear from other people is not necessarily good or bad. It is totally up to us as to how we look at it. And the more equanimous we are while we look at such things, we'll realize that we become a lot more calm and a lot more peaceful. If you like this video, do not forget to press the like button. Also, if you like whatever is happening here at Sound Health Solution, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be coming up with similar videos in the future. Until next time.